Bloodborne is the latest third-person action game by From Software, the creators of Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 1 and 2. You are a hunter of your own design, but has been afflicted by an unknown disease and has travelled to Yharnam in search of a remedy to cure the disease. Shortly after arriving in Yharnam, you will realise that the city has a sickness, and most of the residents have been transformed into horrific beasts and creatures. Your job, of course, is to navigate the streets, fight numerous beasties, disturbing bosses, and grab that cure. All the time trying not to die much. Scrap the last bit. You will die, die, and die. The city of Yharnam itself and its surrounding areas have a very gothic feel, something you might associate with a Dracula movie. At times it looks absolutely stunning. If you have played previous Soul games, you'll be very much at home with Bloodborne. However, it's fair to say that Bloodborne is very much a streamlined version, but it doesn't make it any worse than its predecessors. Magic is completely gone, as are shields. Well, that's not completely true. There is one usable shield in the vanilla game, but you wouldn't shake a stick at it. Actually, a small stick is probably all it could block. To be honest, it's crap. Shields have been replaced by guns. Don't get too excited. Guns are used primarily for knocking your opponent off balance, opening them up for a counterattack. The ability to upgrade your armour is also missing from the game. So with the lack of maxed out heavy armour and a shield, I found that my usual block, strike, step back, strike, block, strafe, block, strike technique wasn't going to wash in Bloodborne, and I find myself having to reinvent my playstyle, which I felt brilliant about, and it's given me the urge to go back to Dark Souls and play that in a completely different way. Bloodborne has its central hub, called the Hunter's Dream, the safe zone where you can repair, upgrade and purchase weapons. You can also spend your Blood Echoes, this game's XP currency, to upgrade your character's stats via a lady by the name of the Abandoned Doll. This is also the home to tombstones, which act as your portals into the world of Yharnam. Unfortunately, the teleport system in the game makes you return to Hunter's Dream every time, before allowing you then to move on to your next destination. Unlike Dark Souls, where you can move to anywhere, from anywhere, to anywhere, from any of the bonfires. The controls are your standard third person setup and almost identical to the other Souls games. There's a little variation of difference with the jump. It kind of goes back to Dark Souls instead of Dark Souls 2 method, but hey, we're happy. The game offers so much content, especially with the addition of randomly generated dungeons called Chalice Dungeons. You could easily be playing this into a new version of Bloodborne or until Dark Souls 3 is released. With the vanilla game, we haven't encountered any game breaking glitches during our time in Yharnam. However, some of my Chalice Dungeons have randomly dropped a chest in front of the doorways, blocking my progress. But it's worth noting that this didn't actually stop me from completing the dungeon and fighting the boss. Bloodborne was one of our most anticipated games of recent times, and it didn't disappoint. It is a tremendous game. The look, feel and the sense of achievement from playing it is fantastic. We highly recommend this game to anybody, but if you get easily frustrated with dying and dying and dying a lot, then you might want to think twice before purchasing. We give it 9 out of 10.